You silly goose. Cam link. Oh wait, it's turned off. No wonder it's not working. Hello? My name is Jeff. Deactivate. Reactivate. OBS closed. Gameplay's right there. Okay. Apologies, everyone. I'm not sure what's happening right now. Video capture device? Do I need to deactivate? Reactivate that. Heh. There we go. We're good. Welcome back, everybody. Mobile Mayhem Season 3. It's the day that you have all been waiting for. I know this, because these are just the things that I know. Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Thank you for joining us. Problem I'm currently having is through some janky program detecting camera, but light pollution is insanity. Gotcha. All right. We should be good to hop into. Oh wow. Looks like Mike may be on a completely different team now. It looks like Hammers Esports has actually picked up a team of their own, which I was not aware of. We're going to request to join on Zim's room. And we should be good to go relatively soon. I don't know the password on this. We are going to hit the go live button over on YouTube as well. For those of you who didn't know, from now on, Mobile Mayhem is going to be live on both YouTube and Trovo. I'm going to be doing my best to keep up with what's happening on both. It will be challenging, but I'll see what I can do. Nafblin with a sub over on Trovo. Can we get some sub hype in chat? Thank you, thank you. Let us see. Yeah, just waiting to get some stuff figured out. We will go ahead and take a look at the schedule for today. So obviously we are going to have a lot of new teams. Not a lot of new teams actually. Mostly the same team. Most of these teams have just been picked up by different rosters. So 1 second, I'm gonna enter this path. Done. Confirm. Alright, I am actually in the room right now, so we are big time Gucci. Nova Champs. Also, okay, so Nova Champs, formerly known as Dice. Infinix, obviously you guys know who they are. Truly is probably gonna have a very different looking roster. Hammers Arsenal will be Arsenal from last season. Status Quo is Status Quo. Exiled is Exiled. Fierce, I believe, lost a couple players. Violence should be relatively the same. Nova Academy is the younger Nova team, so that's going to be made up of a lot of really good players that a lot of you guys are going to recognize. That's definitely going to be a fun one to watch. I am in the room. Gonna go ahead and send an invite today pretty quickly here. Wait, let's see if I can find a... Let me hop into the Discord.
What is this?
Okay.
If we save this right here. Let me go to a different chat with her.
Okay. Yeah, just whenever you're good to go. Wait, is Day gone? Okay. Day is gone at the moment. Hopefully we'll be able to get him in here relatively soon. But like I said, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for joining. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Did I see that the Alcatraz map trailer got leaked? I did. I did a reaction video to it. Hello?
No.
Check. There we go. Oh, look at that camera quality. Look at that, chat. All right. Get that full screened. Hopefully the green screen still works correctly on that. Looks like it will. We should be good to go as we are joined by the one and only Day. I don't know how to pronounce the name in full, so we're just gonna call him the one and only Day.
Just Day's fine, but Day nominee if you wanna
Day.
go all out.
All right, there we go. But we're here. Season 3, Mobile Mayhem. Definitely going to be an interesting one as we got some pretty big shakeups in the major rosters. Looking forward to seeing how these different teams are going to play together. Our first matchup of the night is going to be Nova, formerly known as DICE, going up against Infinix, who was the... Did they end up taking 3rd or 4th place last season?
Infinix, I believe, took 3rd.
Okay. Did they? I thought Arsenal beat them.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was like so convinced Infinix came in 3rd, but you're right now that I think about it.
Yeah, they did struggle a little bit towards the end, so we'll see whether or not they're able to bounce back this season. Are you online? Wait, are you in here?
I am working on it.
Okay. All right. So once we get Day into the room, we should be good to hop into our first gameplay. Just FYI, chat, I do have the puppy in here with me. Hopefully she behaves. She's just been in her kennel a lot today, and I didn't want to put her back in there, so I am banking on her behaving, which may very well not be the right play, but we will have to wait and find out on that one. So just a few of the changes that you guys should know about as far as these teams go. If we go back and look at the actual schedule, didn't realize the background music was still on right there. Nova Champs is the former DICE team. You guys will recognize the majority of the players on there. Obviously, Infinix, for the most part, staying the same. Truly lost a number of their more dominant players to the new Nova Academy team. I believe Hammer's Arsenal, for the most part, is the same as the previous Hammers team that we saw, or the previous Arsenal team that we saw picked up by Hammers Esports. I believe Status Quo, Exiled, both fairly the same. Fierce lost a couple key players. I think Violence may have lost one player to Nova Academy. And then obviously that tribe roster is one that has been together for a while and is not going to be changing anytime soon. So all those changes should definitely make for an interesting season. Just working on getting our last person in here. And once we got that, we should be good to hop into game number 1, which is going to be... hardpoint on firing range. All right, and it looks like we are good to go for game number 1. Hey, Fanny, what are you chewing on? Hey, Fanny, stop! Stupid. Alright, stop. Not here to play.
Alright, my app finally decided to let me log in.
We tied for the lead.
Alright, and it looks like Tatio does get the first blood right there onto Vitali, who's actually using the new DLQ skin, which I believe actually has a lower mobility stat than the default. I'm not sure whether or not that actually plays in-game, or whether it's a visual glitch, but definitely something to keep an eye out for. I would definitely say it looks like he's moving slower, but is able to hit the shot onto Yuji right there. They do take control of the hard point for the time being, as Tatio doing most of the work for Infinix with 5 kills on the board.
You are alone on this one, Bobby, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Not much I can do about that one.
Oh, good. Yep. We pretty even distribution right here. We got Nova across the board. Everybody at 2 or 3 kills right now. It's just Tatio and Tempo. I believe Tempo is actually a new player for Infinix. Looking like he's off to a decent start right here. Yuji and Shadow both off to slower starts than they would like. We also have Envoy, who's typically one of the better respawn players, still stuck down at 1 kill, so pretty even as we head into the second hardpoint. We do have control right here for Nova. Tatio is rounding the corner, looking to pick up a couple frags, only able to get 1 there as Saxy rocking the chopper, something that we've seen become more and more meta the more that we've seen some of this international play in Call of Duty Mobile, and with 7 kills on the board, pretty dominant in this lobby. Is Nova is looking a lot stronger right now than they had in past seasons. Keep in mind this Nova roster, formerly known as DICE. Oh my gosh. Benny! Stop! Sorry, chat. My dog is nonstop chewing on the mattress tag. On the bright side, the tag's not going to hurt anything, but it is what it is. Gonna hop up there, not able to get the kill. Tatio with 10 kills on the board already. Looking really good, but not quite enough to carry this this Infinix team to a lead. They will get the push into the hard point and get control right there. Saxy picks up another one with 9 kills on the board. Not quite able to laser Envoy off of the head glitch right there. Vitali looking to push in, but Tempo is waiting for him. 8 kills on the board for him, and that will allow Infinix to actually retake the lead right there. A couple players are going to push in for Nova to retake the point. They should be able to regain the lead relatively soon right here, and Sax is going to go ahead and hop up top of this tin building. Very nearly gets the frag onto Tatio, but they do end up getting a successful push into the hard point. Saxy picks up another one right there, but it will be Infinix coming away from this hard point with the lead. Saxy pulling out that Annihilator to see if he can manage to find any picks, and definitely looking to get max value out of this as the top fragger for his team. It doesn't look like he is using persistence, so not necessarily must-have kills, but obviously anytime you get your Annihilator, you'd like to be able to make the most of it, and he does pick up a couple crucial kills right there, as we do see Infinix starting to climb ahead a little bit. Tempo up to 13 kills, Tatio at 15, and continuing to climb in that lead, as Saxy not really getting a ton of help out of his teammates. To be honest, I would say Yuji and Shadow kind of underperforming for Infinix right now, but the very top-heavy team with Tempo and Tatio combining for 32 kills right now. Definitely gonna make the cut for them, as they are now up almost 50 points after what seemed like it was going to be a pretty close game. Tatio's able to take out the Shock RC right there, drops the Goliath, which I believe his teammate Yuji is going to pick up, and that's going to give them a big advantage heading into the next hard point as well. Tatio calling in that cluster strike onto the hard point to see if he can create some opportunities for his teammates to punch a hole in it, and now what was a tie game is now a 70-point lead for Infinix. Yuji heads into the hard point with that Goliath. Obviously, you'd probably like to get a little bit better value, but any time on the hill that they can get right now is absolutely going to be worth it. Trying to escape the Molotov. Still only 7 kills for Yuji, but only needing 10 seconds on this hard point to get the dub right here. They call in another Goliath, which is basically just going to act as defense. And that's actually going to be all they need, as the 1 HP Yuji survives on the hard point just long enough to get the win in game number 1.
Well, hopefully I can get into game number 2 with you, Bobby. I'm kind of watching it on stream, but obviously at a bit of a delay. So overall, really well played by both of these teams. Infinix obviously coming through off of some pretty unfortunate loss action that we saw out of them last season. I mean, they looked like they could have been a team that took home the number one trophy, but unfortunately they did not do so hot in the last couple days of the competition, and obviously came down in 4th place underneath Arsenal, who, again, Arsenal would have been one of the teams that, you know, I very well thought that could have been the finals matchup, Arsenal versus Infinix. So just goes to show you how really high tier the top level of gameplay is, and where we've come from season 1 to now.
For sure. Definitely, kind of expecting for Nova to put up a little bit more of a fight. They kept it pretty even all the way through, and then towards the end seemed like they almost just kind of gave up a little bit, as I believe it was close to... I think Infinix may have gotten the last 100 points consecutively right there. It was actually Nova going into the hard point with a lead, and as soon as Infinix passed them, just absolutely blew them out of the water. So I don't know if that was more Infinix underperforming at the start or Nova underperforming at the end, but we'll see how it ends up panning out as we get ready to hop into Raid, Search, and Destroy. Obviously, Infinix, a very solid Search and Destroy team, but we've also seen Nova improve significantly in their Search and Destroy throughout the season as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a fun one to get into. Obviously, Search and Destroy, no respawns, really puts a lot of emphasis on the sniping ability of a lot of these players. And Cheto, marksman of the split last season, I believe. So really goes to show the potential that Infinix can bring to the table. Looking over at the side of Nova, who is obviously formerly DICE.
Danny, no.
We haven't seen as much
Danny,
really
no.
fantastic sniper action out of them. Definitely some middling performances. Saxy, one actually kind of known for the shotgun. Before we just had Main Mike was our go-to shotgun player, but Saxy really came through strong last season with the by 15. So definitely going to have to be looking forward to how they play this next matchup. Obviously, being on Raid, definitely some favoritism to the range, but only time will tell.
Yep, we got all of our players readied up, so we should be about good to hop into game number 2. Obviously, Cheto looking to protect his Sniper of the Split title right here. Had been absolutely phenomenal all the way through last season, just consistent with the Sniper over and over again. I think we'd seen, was it Saxy who had been sniping recently for Nova?
A little bit here and there, but again, we definitely saw a lot more shotgun action out of Sexy, so I would definitely expect to see some of that at least this season. Maybe not on Raid, but we will have to see, as we do have everybody loaded on into the game and starting up. Obviously, we have Cheto here with the Sniper, able to pick up first blood onto Vitali there.
Big first blood for him, is obviously carrying some of that momentum from last season. We do have Saxy picking up a frag. Refrag coming out of Envoy right there. They're going to push into the A bomb site, and more than likely going to see a plant coming out soon. And Cheto just continuing to hit those snipes time and time again. 2 kills for him already. Looking really good right here. Lewis and Desi, the only players remaining for Nova. They are able to get a pick right there, as Lewis does take out Yuji, who struggled a good bit in the last game. Cheto seeing if he can maybe get a grenade pick up top, but he's not going to be able to do so. Desi gets the frag onto Envoy, and just like that, it is a 2v2. Tempo takes out Lewis and gets the double as he drops Desi as well, and we do have Infinix going up to the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, absolutely. A great opening round there for Infinix, especially coming off of their win there in Hardpoint. As you mentioned, kind of closing out that last game with a 100-point string there on those last 2 Hardpoints. Doesn't look like we're going to get the opening kill from Cheto here just seconds into the game this time around. That would have been one crazy shot, though. Unfortunately, is going to not pick up the kill. Saxy running away for his life, and will make it out alive. This is a good opportunity for the side of Nova to regroup here. They do pick up a trade, but it is going to be Infinix picking up the 2-for-1.
Yeah, Tempo has definitely been a big pickup for them so far. Obviously, one of the top fraggers in the respawn that we saw just now, and has been really good for them in Search so far, as well as he's already got 4 kills through the first 2 rounds. Definitely interested to see if he's going to be able to keep this pace. We will have Infinix on the offensive side once again, pushing over toward pool side. They seem pretty content to go pool just about every time, and it's definitely working for them so far.
Yeah, absolutely going to be a fun one to watch, as we did have Infinex picking up that second round. What started to look pretty good for Nova, as Saxy again did take a hit marker, was able to make it out and then pick up a kill. Unfortunately able to pull that momentum forward, as we do have Yuji picking up a kill on Kraken here. Saxy praying for some of that wallbang action there, but not quite gonna find the bullets to connect. And now Infinex are pushing up as Tempo finds a kill onto Vitali there. And man, Infinex coming through strong, just cleaning up right now.
Yeah, Cheto's really picking up exactly where he left off last season, just hitting those clutch snipes time and time again. That's going to give them the 3-0 lead right there. And Tempo, once again, having a big round. I believe all 3 rounds so far, he's had 2 kills, so 6 kills on the board for him. Nova not really able to get anything going so far, and interested to see if they change their approach to this at all. Seems like for the most part they're trying the same defensive strategy, and it's just not working. Unfortunately, Kraken's actually going to, I believe, RPG himself. Cheto picks up yet another snipe right there, takes out Saxy as well, and he is in the zone. 6 kills on the board for him. No surpriser right here, as Tempo picks up yet another kill to put him up at 7. Desi is able to get the trade, but being the only Nova player remaining, it's definitely not going to be an easy situation to finish, and it is Tio picking up the frag onto him to give Infinex the 4-0 lead.
Yeah, Infinex coming through with quite a bit of fury, if you ask me so far. I mean, again, pretty big performance out of them in hardpoint early on. Nova was able to put up 50 points, but Infinex able to turn around the later stages of that game. And then coming in here into search and destroy, which, you know, again, typically we do think Infinex has the bigger advantage in over respawn, specifically due to Cheto with the sniper. As we have Tio picking up a little bit of a trade there, or Desi picking up a trade, and Cheto able to return the favor. This is looking like could potentially be a Infinex 5-0 lead here. Vitali does have the shotgun out, struggling to get on the board as Cheto finds a wallbang shot there onto Kraken.
Yep, and it will be only Vitali remaining,
Oh,
but gets the double right
able to
there.
Pick up a double kill for himself there with the shotgun. Now lone against Cheto. We do have a fight against the clock, but
Wow.
Cheto going to be able to find that closeout there. 5-0 lead here for the side of Infinex.
Yeah, I mean, he just seems to always be at the right place at the right time. Now 8 kills on the board for him, and Nova still yet to pick up a round. We'll see if the switch over to the offensive side does anything for them, and could potentially... Oh, it is Vitali picking up the snipe onto Cheto, who I don't think has died so far this game. I believe that's actually his first death. Vitali is going to get hit marker right here inside Cabana, pushes down. His teammate Saxy actually cleans it up and very nearly hits the wall bang through that bank room window. Not quite able to land it, but they're going to be able to get the bomb plant down. It looks like they are going to be a much stronger offensive-sided team. Usually going to be the only player remaining for Infinex right here. Pushing in through kitchen, players approaching from all sides. He's able to get the first kill. Not going to be able to get the second, though, as Saxy cleans it up, and Nova does avoid the sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. Nova coming through with a strong round there. Gotta tell you, saw Vitali pull out the intervention there with that new skin that I was talking about last week. Looking awesome. Definitely glad that coming through this season we have skins allowed, as well as Molotovs are allowed as well now. So definitely you guys are going to see some changes coming through into this season. I think it adds a bit of extra flair, as we have a quick 2-for-1 trade here, this time in favor of the side of Nova.
Yeah, Kraken's able to clean up the trade, and Saxy picks up one on Cheto as well. So it does seem like the switch of sides is going very much their way. Fortunately for Tio, was able to get some help from the trophy system on that kill. He's going to be able to pick up the final onto Saxy, but Kraken's going to push in. Once again, picking up the clutch kill 2 rounds in a row, going the way of Nova, and looking like they might be able to give Infinex a run for their money, as Kraken and Saxy both picking up the pace with 6 and 7 kills apiece. The A push going pretty well for them right now, so definitely expecting to see them continuing to go that way. And as I say that, we actually have 2 players drop for Nova, and That's going to put them in a really tough spot, especially as it is at match point right now. Kraken's not able to win that gunfight. Lewis is getting the bomb plant over onto the B site. But with
Ollie,
only...
what a shot there.
Oh, and he takes out Cheto. That's actually huge. Now only down a player. And probably the main offensive weapon outside of maybe Tempo so far being taken out. Oh, Lewis gets the RPG kill onto the vehicle, and it's now a 2v2. They're pushing toward the backside. Lewis throws a nade over top. Looked like a perfect spot right there. He's going to get the... I think he's going to get the... No! Oh, he choked the kill! Oh, that was such an easy kill, and Titio ends up getting the double, and it's Infinix taking the 6-2 win and getting the 2-0 sweep over Nova in our first match of the night.
Yeah, Infinix coming through strong. Definitely saw some good plays coming out of Nova there towards the end. And again, this is a team that last season I thought came through with some really strong performances, even though they weren't able to close out the wins that they ideally would have wanted. But still a fun, exciting team to watch. I, in general, don't think this is one of their stronger maps. So for them to come through with a strong performance on several of those rounds, actually, definitely exciting to see. Definitely watch out for Nova on maps like Standoff that favor a little bit more of the close range. They have a lot of really, really fantastic submachine gun players and shotgun players. So I think that's where they excel and where we want to look for them going forward. But I mean, what can we say? Through the league play every season, Infinix has come through incredibly strong, and they're starting off this season strong as well.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's for sure where Infinix would like to be. Cheto, obviously, big performance right there, going 9-3. Tempo, the newcomer to this Infinix team, going 10-5. So obviously, Woods and Munoz both out right now. I don't know if those players have been removed from the roster. Obviously, we're probably going to continue to see some roster changes, as is typical for the first couple weeks of the season, but definitely love seeing some of these teams stick together, especially the Champs qualifiers team. Obviously, Infinix has already had their shot at making it to Stage 5 and was unfortunately not able to make it, but a couple of the Mobile Mayhem teams that you guys are going to watch out for, like Nova, Tribe, I believe Violence and Exiled, are one of those I know is a Champs team. I can't remember which, but definitely
Which two teams?
Violence and Exiled. I'm trying to remember which of our Mobile Mayhem teams are also Champs teams. Splinter might be able to. Violence, yeah. So Violence is another one of those Champs teams to definitely keep an eye out for, as they're working on making their way to Stage 5. As far as our next matchup goes, taking a look at the schedule right here, we are going to have Truly versus Hammers Arsenal. So this Truly team, obviously the champions for Season 2 of Mobile Mayhem, is going to look a lot different from what you guys saw at the end of last season. A couple of their big fraggers were lost, so Swag, Kai, and Wally all ended up joining Nova Academy, aka Nova Imperium, which you can see down at the bottom. They're going to be facing Tribe Gaming in our final matchup of the night. That's definitely going to be a good one to watch, and I would definitely recommend sticking around for it. I believe the Arsenal team will be, for the most part, the same. Maybe a couple players change, but from what I've seen so far, it does seem like this is going to be a team that's sticking together for the time being, and especially being picked up by one of the bigger mobile orgs, and Hammers Esports is definitely a good sign for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Hammers at one point in time had a pretty strong critical ops team. Not too familiar on what's going on with the scene over there, but it makes sense for them to kind of be branching over here into COD Mobile. So definitely a lot of opportunity for the players, and should be another really exciting matchup ahead of us. Obviously, having Sneaky in here, one of the best snipers in the league, came through with some really cracked out performances at the end of last split. I mean, played like an absolute madman. And Main Mike as well. We were just talking about him earlier. Kind of was the one player in at least the North American League that was known for his shotgun skills. So definitely going to have to be keeping an eye out for him. Shadow and Evil as well, incredibly phenomenal players. This roster is stacked across the board, and any team that is going to face off against this Hammers roster definitely going to be in a bit of a rough spot. It's not going to be easy wins for them, but we should have again, just how tight the competition has got. Just looking at the end of last season, I mean, just how nail biting it was down to the end. Monday and Wednesday of the final days of the open season had just such close matchups. I mean, we had ties in both of the divisions, so right there from qualifying was really close, as well as the matchups going into the semifinals, or well, the quarterfinals and the semifinals were incredibly phenomenal and close matchups as well. So coming through this season, we've had a couple roster changes, a couple players moved around, a couple new players in, at least as far as I know. For example, Tempo on Infinex, I believe, is a new player, not just a name change, and he had a massive performance here on day one. So definitely looking forward to what some of these players are able to pull to the table.
Yep, working on getting our next matchup loaded in relatively quickly right here. Obviously, this Arsenal team has been very solid. I had a couple instances where they've underperformed, but overall, definitely a really talented roster and should make for a pretty good matchup. For people asking about Saxy, who was in the Nova versus Infinex matchup, yes, he actually did used to play for NRX in a game called Rules of Survival. So a lot of you have probably seen that NRX is actually the team from Call of Duty Mobile Garena that's going to be moving to the championships of, or at least Stage 5 of the Call of Duty Mobile Championships. Saxy actually moved from the Philippines, or actually I think he moved to the Philippines to play Rules of Survival competitively, and then ended up moving back to the United States, so that's the reason that he is playing North America for the COD Mobile Championships. But yeah, that is the same Saxy that used to play Rules of Survival for NRX. And yeah, to everybody asking about all the other Stage 5 qualifier teams, this is just a North America tournament, so you're not going to see any gameplay from... let's see, what are the teams? You're not going to see NRX, you're not going to see Mayhem. You guys are going to have to wait for Stage 5 to see those teams in action. But yeah, these are currently the top 10 teams in the North American competitive scene for Call of Duty Mobile. There will be some tablet players, some phone players, some over 18 players, some under 18 players. But regardless, it's the best of the best, and hopefully we can bring out some great competition for you guys. Right now, just waiting on Truly to get loaded in. I'll try to invite any Truly players that I've got on my friends list. I think
I'm gonna try something real quick, Bobby.
Okay.
To maybe fix my camera issue, but not entirely sure what is going on with this thing today.
And it looks like we are now getting Truly loaded in right here. The roster for Tribe, I mean, it's the same as it's been since the beginning of Stage 2 for them. Little B, Tectonic Childs, Nero, Bolu, and I think they picked up, can't remember, Leon. I believe they ended up losing Clout and picking up Leon. So we'll see whether or not that's a change that we're going to see in play tonight. Yep, you can always count on Truly to be late to the game. 10 times out of 10. Penny, why are you chewing? Why you chew on everything? Chad, did you know puppies chew on everything?
Yeah, Ronan moving with Bobby. Yeah, okay, we'll see how that works.
Wait, what?
I was checking in Discord trying to figure out because it's weird like that. My camera is like coming through perfectly fine on my end and then really bad on your end.
Yep.
And Ronan said just move in with Bobby and live stream with him.
Easy.
Yeah, right.
As long as you take out the dog anytime that she needs to go out, then we're good to go.
Alright, well, someone then has to pay me enough to quit my day job.
Yeah, I don't think I can make that happen, unfortunately. Chat, who wants to pay him enough to quit his day job? Oh, somebody's saying Hex left Truly. Really? Did he join the Nova Academy team? That may actually be what it is. I can't remember. Yeah, apologies, chat. This is how it goes with pro players. Never expect them to be on time. Ferg is not playing for Tribe. Ferg is not a pro player, chat. How many times do I have to say this? How many times I gotta explain to you guys? Ferg does not have any interest in playing competitive Call of Duty Mobile. Just give her a bone. Oh! Why didn't I think of that? Just give her a bone. Duh. Easy. I definitely haven't tried that. Chat, obviously she has like 12 bones sitting in front of her. She would just rather chew on the chair. Because that's what dogs do. Flacco isn't legendary? I don't know. I don't keep track of Flacco's every move. Alright.
Next series actually is DK.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try to see if we can do their match off game because I really don't want to DQ day one, but right now they're not gonna be able to play.
Okay. I think that means all right. Getting ready for game 3, it looks like.
We're getting the next series ready right now.
That game is going to be Status Quo versus Exiled. Apparently, Truly did not have enough players to play. Hammers Esports is the team that ended up picking up the former Arsenal team. So it looks like they're either going to play off stream or pick up the free win. Working on getting the next teams loaded in quickly here. Chat, Ferg does not play competitive. Okay, he's a Ferg hater. Can somebody from Trovo chat go explain this to YouTube chat? This is why I was worried about streaming this on YouTube. Because YouTube chat has no context for competitive Call of Duty Mobile. Oh.
Here, Bobby, see if that works any better.
I'm not seeing anything.
Not seeing anything.
Wait.
Nice.
Wait. Nope, never mind. We're good. Wait, were you... Oh, is this a second stream?
So, I don't know. Like, my camera's coming through fine on my end, and then on your end it's super pixely. So
Okay.
Ronan suggested opening a Zoom meeting by myself and just sharing the screen. And arguably, this is not as great as it looked on my end on Discord, but it's got to be better than what was happening.
There is a little bit of input delay, I will say.
Does it look better right now?
I think it looks better, but I really can't tell.
It looked horrible before. I don't know why I'm having so many camera issues. This is a brand new camera that has been a nightmare since the start.
Well, this should work for now, so I would say you're good to keep it. Sorry, I was choking on a chip right there. I'll be right back. Fanny, what are you chewing on? Stop. Stop. Admins, do we know if any of the teams are going to join?
Julie and Arsenal are not going to play.
Okay.
The next series is going to be right now. They're joining the lobby.
Dog, I'm going to lose my crap right now. Besides.
That is pretty unfortunate. Is that a truly DQ Zim?
They'll play off the game, and I'll update it. I'll give you guys the results afterwards.
All right.
Wait, what is going on?
I'm not going to DQ anybody the first day. We're going to give them the time to get their fifth and play their match against Arsenal after. Okay.
Fantastic. I assume everybody in chat also heard that then, Bobby?
Yup.
All right, well, there you have it, guys. We're apparently not going to DQ on day one, and we're just going to move that matchup to some other time tonight. So we should hopefully have Status Quo versus Exiled up for our next matchup here for you guys.
Chat, I apologize. Usually the first night, chat, if it makes you feel any better, typically the first night is the most disorganized, and then after that, the season gets better and better. So hopefully this is a one-time thing, and the from now on we'll be able to get into a little bit more of a rhythm and getting our players in here and everything else. We do have a couple status quo players loaded in right now. Waiting for the rest of status quo and exile to get loaded in.
It looks like we are starting to get everybody in for Status Quo, as well as Exiled should be the other team in our next matchup, guys. So we will get you in as soon as possible and get you back into the action. We are sorry about the delays.
For people that are asking when Ferg's playing, I honestly don't know if y'all are capping or if y'all are actually this bad at listening. Oh, hello. Oh, do you want to say hi to everybody? Oh, yes, the little pupper. The little pain in the butt. Yes, she is. Oh, yeah, bite my hands. Yeah, just bite them, bite them, bite them. No. You don't need chips. Those aren't for you. Yep, you show that Mike who's boss. Hello? You're getting too big for this. I tell you what. You're getting too freaking big for this.
Well, while we are waiting, I have somebody at the door, so I will be right back.
Alright. Everybody say hi, Fanny. We're so sorry that you have to wait this long because pro players never show up to anything on time. We're so sorry. We'll do better next time. Oh, can you give me kisses? Nope, not chew on my headphones. Okay, that's chewing. Mm-hmm. Ow. That was like half kisses, half biting my nose. Ow. How's game mode and map being picked? We do bans and selections prior to the matches. Ow. We have admins that take care of all that stuff for us because they're fantastic like that. Oh my goodness. Oh. Hello. Hello? You're the one that wanted to get up here. You're the one. Ow. Ow. Oop. Slovenia. Alright, we've almost got everybody in here. I can't actually see my stream. Yep, you just keep chewing on stuff. Oh, chat thinks that you're cute, Fanny. A little bit. I know, she got so big so fast. It's insane. Does Fanny smell good? She still smells like a puppy. Ow. Ow. Hey. She just bit my nose. Scooby and Fanny collab soon? True. True. We're not gonna eat thumb sleeves. No, no, no. Hit. All right, you ready to get down? I gotta cast soon. Sorry. Or are you just gonna sit there? Okay. I mean, honestly, as long as she's not chewing on the tables and getting me in trouble. Yeah, she's still chewing on me.
Alright, looks like we are pretty close here, Bobby.
Yep, I
made it back in time, even.
Just letting chat be entertained by the dog chewing on my nose in the meantime, so hopefully it stays entertaining. Ow. Just need Yuna to ready up, and we will be good to hop in to what I guess is technically match number 2. Hopping into hardpoint on standoff. Fanny, I need you to get down, please. Yep. Thank you. She is so much heavier now. In chat, I'm 90% sure she would not have any shot at fitting under my chair anymore. It's probably a good thing in the grand scheme of things. And all the players left. Sounds about right.
That's just how it be, man.
Sometimes that's the... Ow! Alright. Probably somebody changing his skin. Or a score streak.
I would say this time around, probably score streaks, since we have skins are finally all welcome.
Uh-huh. I don't think my YouTube chat's loading. Because there have been 0 new messages in the last, like, 5 minutes. Dog tips, please. What do you mean by dog tips? What does that mean? Fanny vented inside my heart, lol. There we go. Alright. 17th time's a charm.
Yep, as we get everybody in here, we will hopefully have a very exciting opening match for Status Quo and Exiled for you guys. Exiled, a incredibly strong team through last season. Again, they were kind of new, well, both of these teams were new to the block, and both of them have absolutely amazing standout players. Not entirely sure on possible name change versus new players, specifically over on the side of Exiled. I know Neji was a incredible player for Exiled last split. We do have Darky, who was also a phenomenal player from the team. As well as End and Silo having some pretty solid performances as well. Looking over at Status Quo, let me tell you, Meralto and Impulsive, always fantastic and fun players to watch in my opinion, as we do have a Status Quo actually picking up quite a kills off of the open.
Yeah, that was a really strong start for them right there, as they took out all but one of the Exiled players. That will allow them to take control of the hard point, as we see a couple shotguns in play. We see the Echo, which is not a gun that has been used a lot in the North American competitive scene, but we've seen it used a good amount in the Japanese Stage 4 qualifiers, and throwing the Molotov in right there is going to get big value out of it, allowing Exile to take control of the hard point. Undy, who veterans of the North American competitive scene will likely recognize, getting 2 kills on the board right off the bat as he makes his return to competitive Call of Duty Mobile, at least over on the mobile Mayhem side, and using the MSMC, which we haven't seen a whole lot, but I anticipate will probably become a little bit more used, as it is the fastest killing SMG in the game. Impulsive not quite able to get the frag onto Darky. He does have 7 kills on the board, but pretty much tied up heading into this next hard point.
Yeah, a fantastic start for both of these teams. Obviously, rules being a little different this time around, guys, as we have seen a couple Molotovs come out, as well as just some overall big Molotov kills. And that's going to be a exceptionally strong device, especially for players to use on these very close, tight hard points. And Standoff being a fantastic map for that. A lot of these hard points are contained indoors, and a Molotov or 2 can essentially deny an entire hard point. So definitely be keeping an eye out for those, as we do have trades back and forth for both of these teams. So far, we do have Exiled with a slight point lead. Persistence users, we've got Skill, Yuna, and Impulsive on the side of Status Quo. And for the side of Exiled, the entire team running Persistence. So the longer this game goes, the worse and worse it's going to get for Status Quo as the score streaks start to rack up for Exiled.
Yeah, definitely a really strong second hard point for them, as they're able to get up, or take basically a tie and turn it into a 50-point lead right here. They do have control of that next hard point, as well as Impulsive picks up his 11th kill. It is End holding down the hard point once again with the KN-44, which typically we don't see a whole lot in competitive play. He is going to get taken out from the hard point. Status Quo taking control a little bit, but Undy fragging with the LK right now. 9 kills for him. Won't be able to push in quite yet, as that Molotov is burning up above, but at least able to get the contest, and does push in to take control of the hard point once again. Pretty solid map control for this Exiled team, who's looking really good as expected. They were really exceptional last season and had some big performances, even though they weren't quite able to make it into one of those top spots. Definitely expecting big things out of this roster, especially with the addition of Undy, who's definitely a really solid player and is showing it right now, top fragging for his team at least with 10 kills.
Yeah, Impulsive, man, though. Again, this is definitely the player to watch as far as Slayers goes for the side of Status Quo. 16 kills on the board. Make that 17. Absolutely killing it. But, you know, as you mentioned, the rotations coming out of Exiled is just absolutely phenomenal. Their zoning potential with both the cryo grenades as well as the mollies doing absolutely phenomenal work here, as we do have Status Quo finally getting some points here, racking up for themselves, crossing the 40-point threshold, as well as looking like they have this entire bakery hardpoint locked down pretty solid right now. Again, a lot of zoning with the mollies going on from both of these teams. And maybe Status Quo coming back into the running here. If they're able to hold the rest of this hard point, it's going to put them up at 80 points, and they'll only be trailing about 30 then. But just as I say that, Exiled able to come through and pick up some points of their own.
Yeah, Impulsive, like you said, absolutely dominating right now. 20 kills on the board, but nobody on his team has made it into double digits, and that is definitely playing a big factor in the growing lead and what looks like is going to be a relatively easy win for Exiled right here. Lots of consistency across the board, and that Pred missile is actually going to be big as Darky takes out not only a Goliath, but gets some collateral damage right there as well. Only 12 more points needed for Exile to close this one out, and with, I believe, their entire team on the hard point right now, and Silo getting the triple with the Pred missile, that will most likely be a GG as they close out the win 150-60.
Yeah, that was a incredibly strong performance from Exiled there, which we kind of expect coming from a team who, you know, again, was in a very big tie situation in Division 1, which was arguably the dominant the dominant division, at least last season. So we expected them to come through with big performances here. As you mentioned, Undy, a well-known player in the North American COD servers, so definitely exciting to see him coming through with this team. Again, Darky, a exceptionally phenomenal player. But man, Impulsive, even though Status Quo were unable to pull off the win here, huge performance out of him. Definitely going to be looking forward to see if the team can develop a little bit more consistency to really kind of work with just how strong of a player Impulsive is, as well as Maralto really excels going into Search and Destroy, which will be our next matchup between these two teams. Didn't come in the top 3 for marksman of the split last season, at least as far as the votes went, but definitely one of my top 3. Super strong sniper, hits a lot of those incredibly amazing opening shots that we will have to look for going into, again, where the snipers kind of carry a little bit more weight when they can get those early picks in Search and Destroy.
Yep, definitely looking forward to seeing some snipes out of End as well. He started to become a lot more consistent toward the end of the season for Exiled, and especially with them coming out with the win in game number 1. We'll see if he's able to carry that through. Depending on the map, I think it's going to be Search and Destroy on Summit. We may see some shotguns come into play as well. Obviously saw a couple off the start right there as we were on hard point standoff, so seems to be an increasingly more meta part of the game as more and more players are starting to master it and find the builds that help them to be able to maximize the kind of the power of the shotgun, which is just so overpowered in some of those close range gunfights. I believe Bear may have been one of those players. I know that End was previously, but obviously playing that sniper role is going to be big for him. We'll see whether or not anybody else decides to pick it up, as we do have all of our players in and should be good to go for game number 2.
Yeah, it does look like we have everybody readied up now. Again, this is going to be a big matchup where we have a lot of opportunity for the snipers, as there are long sight points over both of these bombs. But, and the big but here is that central building, there's a lot of really tight corridors that are in very close proximity that we can definitely see have a big impact here as well. Specifically with the amount of shotgun play that we've seen start to come through in North America. Definitely going to have to be looking to see if anybody adapts into that role. I fully expect to see Maralto still sniping, as well as End I would expect to see sniping, but possibly depending on how Exiled play their aggression out, which, again, I like them playing more as an aggressive team. They're actually exceptionally strong with their team rotations and with their gunfight skills, so I wouldn't be shocked if we see End, maybe not now, but at some point throughout the season, moving into that shotgun role for some of these more aggressive maps.
Yeah, and we actually queue in. We will have Status Quo on the defensive side off the start. Typically, this is another one of the Search and Destroy maps that some teams are just much better on, either the offensive or defensive end. So we'll see how that plays out. I believe we did see Skill pulling out the KRM right there. He is going to be using that off the start. As he gets the aggressive push in the bottom side of Control Center, Undy is able to counter with the QQ9 and is able to pick up a frag onto Code as well. That will only leave 2 players right here for Status Quo. Maralto is able to hit the snipe, but a 1v3 is not going to be easy, and Silo ends up getting the better of him right there, as we do have Exiled taking the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and this is kind of reminiscent of our first matchup there, where we did see a fairly sizable hardpoint win going into match 2, as well as then I believe it was Infinex who were able to come through with these strong search and destroy wins as well. Exiled, again, one of those teams that was right up there competing with Infinex last season, so we definitely expect to see good things coming out of them here today. And it is going to be Silo picking up the first kill here in round 2 as well.
Yeah, Meralto gets a big snipe onto Silo, following up that first blood. Darky in a gunfight with Impulsive, and Impulsive comes out on top and able to get the trade. Now a 3-on-3, make it a 2-on-2. Skill and Meralto against Undy, and End. Skill not able, no, he is able to win the gunfight, but Undy's able to pick up the trade right there, and now a 1v1 QQ9 versus Sniper right here. Undy was able to pick up that bomb and rotating over toward the A site. Meralto is going to have the ranged advantage using that DRH, and Undy actually does not spot him right there. Could potentially get the B plant right down, as we do have Meralto not really even playing for the flank right now, pretty much just content to play this rock position. That'll leave Undy wide open, but it looks like he's actually going to go back to the A site. And as I say that, rotates back toward B, so kind of running in circles right now. He does have 40 seconds to work with, so not really in too much of a rush. Obviously, Meralto pretty content to play this spot and wait for the plant. It is now pressure on Meralto as he pulls out the nade, trying to go for the quick rotation. He's going to go over toward top of control center more than likely, seeing if he can manage to hit a snipe. Has not spotted Undy quite yet, and we do have Undy patrolling the surrounding area of that B site. Obviously trying to play some of those tighter angles with the QQ9. Spots him right there. Hits a couple shots. Not able to get the kill shot, but now only 15 seconds remain. And the pressure is on for Meralto, who's got to get the defuse and the kill. He's actually not able to get the kill, and with 1 HP, Undy gets the frag to close out the round and give Exiled the 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and that is such a big momentum shift in the 1v1. Meralto obviously taking his odds, hedging his bets, camping out at A, looking to maybe get the jump on the rotation. But as soon as Undy was able to get that B-side plant, the momentum of the game shifts, because now it's not Undy fighting against the clock anymore. It is instead Meralto having to come find the kill as well as find the defuse, and he's unable to find it. And that's going to be that round, I mean, that round just absolutely smoked through by Exiled there. I mean, that was line him up, knock him down. I do think Status Quo were able to pick up a single kill there, but I mean, all 5 members of Status Quo pretty much dropped at the same time. So.
Yeah, that one ended real quick, and the snipes from Silo playing a big role right now as he's got 6 kills through 2 rounds. Really big performance out of him, and actually spots one player for Status Quo through the doorway. Not able to land the shot, but he does have the high ground on them, and I think they're actually going to go for the rotation flank right here. They are. He's definitely going to be watching that top side, knowing where they were and the likely result of that rotation. It is going to be a B plant, and the snipe onto Skill. Lightning fast reflexes. Code is able to get the trade now in a 4v4. Picks up another onto Undy right there. And for the first time all game, we do have Status Quo with a man advantage. Make it a 2-man advantage as End and Darky are the only players remaining, and now it's all on End. Not able to hit the first shot. Hit markers on the second shot. Does take out Silva. Ooh, takes out Meralto too, but not quite able to get the 1v4. And it will be Status Quo coming away with round 4 to put things at 1-3.
Yeah, and it's nice to see Status Quo come through with a really strong round there. They definitely needed it to stop the absolute madman momentum that Exiled had, especially picking up 3 incredibly quick rounds. So Status Quo have an opportunity to shift momentum back in their favor here. This is absolutely still anybody's game. We could see Status Quo come through here with the turnaround, and unfortunately just doesn't wait long enough, tries to move up there. Almost pays for his life because of it, but he'll make it out alive, and it's Darky finding the first kill onto Meralto. And that is a good opening pick there for the side of Exiled. But it's traded back, and it's now a 3-3 game.
Yep, 3 players apiece. Code dropping right there as Undy gets the better of him. And End trying to move away from that A site. He's actually going to push back to see if he can find anybody on that long angle. Won't spot anybody, though, as the remaining status quo players have moved up toward the B site. And Silva gets a big kill right there to put things now into a 1v1. And holding control center and trying to rotate over toward the outside of that B corner. Silva now back in spawn, very content to wait for End to make a move, and he is going to have to pick up that bomb. Obviously going to be an indicator for Silva on his location, so he picks it up right there. And looking like he might go for the hop-up. Actually, we do have a nade coming over top for Silva. Obviously not going to be able to get a kill out of it, and End is, it looks like, going to rotate all the way over toward the A site right here. Silva just pretty content to wait for End to make the first move before he decides to do anything.
Really get this strategy coming from Silva right now. Again, we talked about it in the last round. We were in a very similar situation, a 1 versus 1. As soon as that bomb gets planted, you are now not only fighting against the clock, you are fighting against that other player who is now set up in the position he wants to be, where he can oversee the bomb. And that's a really big struggle point to be in if you are the remaining member in that 1v1. 25 seconds on the clock at this point, making the rotation over. Maybe gets advantage here, but again, up against a sniper like End, definitely can put you in a big struggle situation here, but he's got the sightline. Can he get the kill?
Does miss a couple shots right there. It's going to be tight. He does get the kill. I don't know if he's going to get back to the bomb in time. I think he's going to. I think you only need about 4 seconds to get the defuse, so the risky play by Silva does end up paying off as they do get the back-to-back round wins. That'll put things at 2-3, like you said. Not necessarily giving himself the advantage, and honestly, a little bit of a missed opportunity for End right there, as he had multiple shots he could have hit, but just wasn't able to make it happen. Honestly, a little bit surprised that he didn't end up picking up a secondary weapon right there, is that
I was just about to say.
That would have given him so much more of an advantage than just being forced to hit that 1v1 snipe, especially against a SMG player that has the mobility to be able to dodge it a lot easier. It is now 1 player remaining for status quo, as he is in a 1v3. The bomb is down. Silva picks up the frag, and looking like he might have a shot at clutching. Actually, I believe didn't get spotted by End. He's going to be able to push bottom of control center, pick up the bomb, rotating over toward B right here, and both players playing the higher ground right now for Exiled. End not taking any unnecessary peeks. He does hop down. Risky move. Silva not able to hit any shots onto him, and with a teammate there to help him clean it up, Bear does get the kill, and Exiled retakes some of that momentum with a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, and Silva's actually had, despite the numbers not showing it, Silva has actually had a pretty solid performance here. He's picked up a lot of kills when he needed them that really helped him clutch through that last round. This round, unfortunately, not able to find enough. He was able to pick up 2 kills for himself, which is a good swing of things. Or, well, actually, I think he picked up 1 kill and got another one yoinked from him, but definitely a lot of opportunities still here from this status quo team. Exiled, they do have a 2-round lead, but again, status quo, they've showed signs of life. They've shown the ability to pull through together strong. We don't have anybody dropping donuts on the team. Everybody's doing pretty solid across the board, I would say.
Yeah, a very surprisingly passive approach right here from status quo. Obviously, with things getting closer and closer to match point, they're going to be not quite as aggressive, but you don't typically see competitive teams, especially on Summit, just sit and spawn and wait for the defensive team to come to them. Typically, that doesn't end up working in your favor with how good a lot of these teams are at playing aggressive. It is End that picks up the kill, and just like that, status quo is now stuck in spawn. They were down a player, and now are down a player, and now they have no offensive progress to work with. Silo not able to hit the shot, but we will have another status quo player dropping. Barry gets the double. Not quite able to get the triple, but Darky rounds the corner to clean things up. And now the 5-2 lead for Exiled as the result of the very, very passive approach to that search and destroy round from status quo.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a really strong point for Exiled to be in, and a horrible position if you are status quo. Obviously, coming off the Exiled win in Hardpoint and this being match point for Search and Destroy, Exiled only need to find one round here to close things out for the night with a 2-0 victory. That obviously nets them a additional 10 points in the scoring. So Exiled, they've got to be happy here to start this season off well. Again, off of such a strong season they had last time around. And it's looking very strongly like Exiled could find it here, and there it is.
Yeah, that was a really good closeout right there. The flank out of Darky made that really, really easy as the status quo player Hardscope in the doorway just was completely oblivious to what was happening right there. It is Exiled coming away with the 2-0 win. That will put them, like you said, pretty much in a good spot on the leaderboards, those 20 points. Not only helping them significantly, but also definitely going to hurt status quo, who's definitely going to have a lot of work to do to bounce back from that one, especially as you would like to start off stronger. But that does round it out for, I guess technically that was match number 3, even though we didn't play match number 2. Next up, we are going to have Violence versus Fierce. This is definitely going to be one of our better matchups for the night. Keep in mind, Fierce did lose a couple of their key players, so will be interesting to see how this one ends up playing out. Definitely the one I'm excited to see is Nova Academy versus Tribe Gaming. I would almost say that Nova Academy is like the all-star team for Season 2 of Call of Duty Mobile, so that's definitely going to be a high-octane offensive powerhouse going up against Tribe Gaming, who maybe not known quite as much for their gun skill, but has definitely put a lot of work into their strategy and obviously their team chemistry as well, being the team that has been together the longest out of all these teams. So looking forward to watching that one, but should be good to load our teams in pretty quickly right here. And hopefully we'll be able to get started shortly.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see a little bit better action coming out of Tribe this time around. Obviously, last season, it was a big struggle for them start to finish. A lot of that could be chalked down to players moving over from iPad to phone. I've played on both. It makes a substantial difference in the ability that you're able to play in. So definitely going to have to see if they've been able to pull things together here for Season 3 of Mobile Mayhem. Lots of phenomenal players on the team. I mean, Tectonic, a absolute madman when he's playing on his A game. So definitely going to have to look for him to come through strong here if we want to see anything coming out of Tribe. To me, he's kind of like the anchor of Tribe. If Tectonic is able to perform well, the team is able to perform well around him. So definitely a lot of opportunity in the coming up matchups.
And we actually have Jez getting loaded in, I believe playing for Fierce. Even though he has Truly in his name, don't let it get you confused. Obviously, Slothy has been with Fierce for the last couple seasons. And Poison, a veteran for Violence as well.
Oh, am I a game ahead on who I was just talking about?
I believe so.
My bad, team. Got a little mixed up there with the match getting moved around from earlier.
You're good.
I started getting real confused when these players came in. I was like, wait a minute. This isn't right, Bobby. But no, this makes sense now. This does make sense.
No, this is not North America champs.
Yeah, so we still have Fierce versus Violence and Truly versus Arsenal, right?
I believe Truly versus Arsenal is going to happen off stream.
Yeah. Oh, is it going to be off stream? Okay. I do assume, Benzo, that we are going to there will be staff to moderate that game at least to make sure everything is kosher. Okay, cool. Is that gonna be put on YouTube later? No. Okay, well, I tried, team. I tried.
We actually get Mason COD Mobile loaded in for Violence right here. Those of you who watch my streams know that I was playing ranked probably like a couple weeks to a month ago, and I just went against this random dude in ranked, and he did not miss a snipe on me the entire time, and his name was Mason COD Mobile. So we'll see whether or not he brings those same snipes tonight in our matchup, that being Violence versus Fierce. Definitely excited to see. Yeah, I believe it was in Respawn that he was destroying me as well, so we'll see whether or not he ends up being a Respawn sniper for them. Bobby's always eating. I'm sorry, but that's just not true. Just not true. Don't tell me how to chew. That's my stream. Stop eating and drinking. No. All right, looks like we got all of our players loaded in. Actually, Beamed, it looks like, joining Tribes, or not Tribe, joining Fierce. One of the pro players that has been in and out of the scene for a good bit, previously playing. I think he actually may have played with, I can't remember who he played with previously. Yeah, Omen. Omen was who he played with previously. I don't know who Omen is, but it's a team that I've heard about from people. So, interested to see if he's still got his edge. Waiting for our players to get readied up, and we should be good to hop into hardpoint on raid. It's happening off stream because the players were not online in time, I guess. All right, here we go. Game number 1, live. We do have, I can't even see. On strong side, we've got Fierce that should be able to make entry into the hard point, at least at first. Looks like Poison is going to be rocking the chopper, which we've started to see more and more. Typically it is with the heavy handle and not with the actual iron sight, so be interested to see how this build works for him, and not too surprising to see Mason with the sniper right there. We'll see whether or not he's got the snipes that they talk about, or whether the nerves of his first Mobile Mayhem appearance end up getting to him. Waiting for one player to load in for Violence, and after that we should be good to go.
Absolutely. I'm definitely excited to see how Mason is able to perform coming through on this team. Obviously a player that you know through the ranked grind, Bobby, but a player that is new to me, so we will have to see. Obviously, there's a fairly sizable gap between just you know, your typical ranked queue in a game and then competitive, where there's a lot more organization versus just 5 good players flopping in the wind aimlessly and ranked. You know, I definitely know the feeling, but we do have the final member loaded in over here, and we will be moving on into the game. Obviously, starting off here in hardpoint, we will have the respawn potential as well as the kill streaks. Quick look at the board. We do have Raballo, Jez, and Forsaken running persistence, as well as it looks like Vindicate, Poison, Forbid, and Decoy all running persistence. So a lot of score streak opportunity in this game, as well as this map, a incredibly strong artillery strike map or cluster strike map, you know, depending on which game we may be familiar with. But Vindicate able to pick up a wall bang there, and Forbid picks up a kill onto Slothy as well. And we have quite a bit of early points here chalking up here on the side of Violence.
Yeah, looking really good off the start right there. They are going to get contested, as we do have Beam pushing into the hard point, not able to take control quite yet. Slothy and Raballo get some big kills to get a little bit of that scrap time and bring things closer to a tie right here. And I believe Forbid actually botched his Molotov right there. Not exactly what you'd love to see, but they do have poolside control and likely going to be looking to secure spawn side control as well. Forbid holding down that head glitch, gets the frag, or actually it's Mason that's able to clean things up with the sniper, and very strong spawn side control. Decoy staying alive in this gunfight versus Roballo as well. He's going to go for the flank, but it will be Violence holding down the hard point as Decoy picks up another kill onto Slothy. The double onto Roballo, and very nearly gets shots onto Beamed as well, but it will be Beamed coming away with 2 HP and taking control of the hard point for Fierce.
Yeah, so far a pretty even match, 35-34, with currently a Fierce hold on the hard point, so definitely be watching for them to rack up the points here. But we have Violence making their move in. Can we find the kills? It does look like we have a pretty solid, at least delay here on the side of Fierce. They are able to pick up a couple extra points here on the trickle, but more importantly, they deny the points going over to Violence. So this is really strong out of them. Definitely expect to see the rotations coming through pretty strong here, as we do have Violence setting up on Garage. I would like to see them try to get a little bit more of a safety net. There's a lot of vehicles here in the Garage that they should destroy early on, giving them a little bit more cover to hide under, but that is not going to be the case, as we do have the side of Fierce making an incredibly strong rotation over here. Can they find the kill onto Decoy, who's barricaded himself behind the van? Doesn't look like they're going to.
Yeah, Violence holding this hard point really well, not really giving Fierce any room to get a break. We do have Roballo still sitting outside the hard point, but lands shots onto Poison. Tough gunfight to win. It is Forbid sliding outside the hard point to win that one, but Violence continues to hold. Decoy pulling out that Annihilator and more than likely going to begin pushing out soon. A little bit surprised to see the player with the operator skill out, and there he is now making the rotation as he looks to push poolside to see if they can get control of basketball as well. Slothy is up top, and the Shock RC coming in big, knocking Decoy off of his Annihilator right there. That's going to be really huge for Fierce, who is down 40 points, but has pretty solid map control over here, over on the basketball court side. You can see one player poolside, one player on basketball court, and 2 players perusing that outer area. Very solid control for them right there. And Roballo holding down that basketball court area, taking out somebody inside bank room. Poison is looking to get the break with the Annihilator, but with multiple Annihilators in play for both teams, definitely going to be tough to do, as we do have continued control for this Fierce team.
Yeah, and Fierce made a phenomenal rotation, choosing to forego the push onto Violence in Garage, at least after their first push failed. They went ahead and forfeited those points, and instead of fighting over one of the hard points in the game to fight over, they went ahead, made the rotation over, moved on to basketball court, which is another incredibly difficult hard point to push, just because of the cover and the vantage points on those 2 objectives. Moving into the next point, which obviously will be moving in towards the middle of the map, there's a lot more openness, a lot more ways to rotate into that point, as well as a lot more vulnerability for score streaks. So definitely expect Fierce to come through strong, pull out some score streaks here, pull out some operators as well, and maybe try to close things out on this objective.
Yeah, Roballo getting some big frags with his Annihilator. 15 kills for him to lead all players, and currently 3 players in double digits for Fierce, as they have looked better and better as this game has moved along. The 2 Annihilators in play for Exiled are going to allow them to get the break right here, and Forbid trying to hold down poolside, gets the shot onto Slothy, regaining some of that lost ground as he takes out Jez, takes out Slothy. A beautiful 3-piece to allow his team to retake some map control. Still 1,200 points away from the VTOL, but with a cluster strike on deck, could make it a little bit easier to get a break on that statue hardpoint as well. As they continue to hold it down, we'll be pretty close to the tie by the time we get ready to rotate toward that next hardpoint. We do have Beamed already set up over there, looking to fight off exiled players. Able to get the frag onto Mason, slides the corner. Not quite able to get the frag, but his teammate cleans it up. And we do have a cluster strike on the way in for Exiled, but not getting a whole lot of value out of it.
Yeah, this has been a pretty rough game for score streaks. A lot of the players that are running persistence right now have struggled a ton to, get into the Goliaths. I mean, we're now moving into what could be the final hard point, and we don't have any of those big score streaks online for either team. We have Pred missiles just coming online for Poison and Vindicate, who are struggling to get into the double digits. Beamed, obviously, having a phenomenal performance here. Raballo having a phenomenal performance, but they're running lower score streaks, so they're essentially spamming low score streaks instead of getting those strong ones. But it is Fierce here in the end, able to hold down the point. Again, moving into that last hard point with no score streaks for Violence and the incredible setup that we had out of Fierce, it was just going to take a super strong push from Violence. They were unable to find it, and that's Fierce closing out game 1 here. And we will be moving into Search and Destroy.
Yeah, and Beamed in his first Mobile Mayhem performance coming up big for Fierce, going 17-9. Definitely played a big role for them, not only getting those frags, but was always one of those first players on the hill on those important rotations that we saw both on basketball courts and over on the second statue rotation as well. Definitely the performance that they need, especially after losing some key players. Looks like they are going to be able to bounce back strong, and they do come away with the win in game number 1. So we'll go ahead and get ready to hop into Search and Destroy. Probably a little more of Mason strong snoot, as we did see him sniping toward the beginning, but struggled a good bit. As obviously raid hardpoint, not an ideal sniper situation. We'll see if he's able to bounce back, hopping into Search and Destroy on Meltdown. So interesting to see always whether or not these are going to be the types of teams that are going to just absolutely full send the points or play it relatively passive and wait for the opposing team to make the first move. Once we get our players readied up, we should be good to hop into our second game.
Yeah, hopefully we will. We'll probably see at least a couple class changes. Obviously, not going to be running persistence and Search and Destroy. So I'm assuming that's what a lot of the players are doing right now. I did have a question I wanted to ask the admins. I don't think the answer is yes, which is unfortunate for me, but I still want to ask. Man, Zim was just waiting to disappoint me. Did you see how fast that was?
Yup.
Can't believe he even had a chance to read the question. So guys, I was looking to see if Terminal had made it into our map rotation for this season, and I'm a longtime COD console player, so Terminal has some pretty strong emotional ties for me. So I was hoping maybe we would see some Terminal this season, but unfortunately Zim was ready to disappoint.
Yeah, I've played Terminal in ranked 1 time. I think I didn't even know that it was an option, but I think I ended up playing like domination on it. I was like, this is just the weirdest domination map that I've ever played. And I think I watched the Indian team that ended up qualifying for the other region for stage 5. I think they played Search and Destroy on Terminal. I was just like, what in the world is happening right now? This map is so big.
I mean, man, Modern Warfare 2 days. So, but phenomenal sniping map. I mean, if you want to see some top tier sniping, Terminal and High Rise are your 2 maps for snipers. So definitely can't wait to see that make our rotation in. We have so many incredibly strong snipers here in Mobile Mayhem that I mean, that's one of the most exciting things for that matchup for me, as Raballo is able to pick up an opening kill on the decoy there.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen him snipe before, so this is an interesting move for Fierce. It is going to be Vindicate all by himself remaining for Violence, and we'll get taken out pretty easily as Beamed, who was big for them in game number 1, finishes with 3 kills in the first round. Pretty big performance out of him. That looks like is going to keep going. Obviously, big loss for Fierce was... I'm trying to think of who their sniper primary was.
For Fierce,
I want to say Sneaky.
Let me just double check. That sounds right to me, but I have the roster from last season up here.
Regardless, we do have a pretty aggressive B push right here coming out of Violence. No first bloods yet, and Rabalo just barely misses as we do have Mason sniping. He's able to win the gunfight and gets his first kill of these search and destroy rounds. Couple frags coming out of Violence, as well as they are now at a 2-man advantage, and more than likely going to see a B plant here. We do have that as both remaining Fierce players over on spawn side. Going to be difficult to make a push from right here, especially without any real high ground advantage, and it is Slothy taken out by Vindicate. Forsaken putting himself in a corner, and Mason is not going to allow him to slide away right there, as they will tie things up at 1-1.
Yeah, it was sneaky for Fierce last time around, so obviously that's a big player for them to lose, especially with, again, the way he closed out last season as a sniper. So Rabalo coming through with a good opening pick there. But big shoes to fill if you're going to be playing the main sniper for Search and Destroy. So I certainly don't envy Rabalo right now, but fortunately for the side of Fierce, they were able to pick up Beamed, who's come through and been a phenomenal player today. I mean, top fragging there in our hardpoint match on Raid, coming through with a strong round here in Search and Destroy. Obviously, still could go either way. This is a 1-1 matchup right now. Decoy gonna make it away just with a fraction of the health bar remaining, and it is going to be Mason getting dropped there by Sloth.
Yeah, not quite able to win the close range gunfight. Jez on the outside of the A site, looking to push up the stairs right here. Pre-fires the corner, not able to land shots onto Vindicate, but Forsaken gets the double. Slothy picks up one as well. Forbid the only player remaining, and that will allow Fierce to get the defuse right here and take the 2-1 lead, as having pretty good contributions across the board from all of their players. Obviously, they would like to take the 2-0 win, as that would give them those extra 10 points. And like we said, Rabalo with big shoes to fill, but 2 kills on the board. Definitely not a bad start. More than likely, he's going to be pushing over toward this B site Sniper's Nest pretty much every time, regardless of the approach of Violence, trying to see if he can get that first blood with the overlook onto the site. Throws out the Molotov.
Mason looking for a crazy long shot here all the way in the very back of spawn on top of the forklift.
I didn't even know that that was an angle that you could see people from, but if he manages to hit it, it will...
he almost did. He almost did.
It'll probably go down in the Mobile Mayhem record books as the longest snipe. I can't think of an angle that's longer than that on a map that we actually play on a regular basis. We do have a couple kills coming in for Violence right here, who's looking to even things up at 2-2. It is going to be a B plant over on the B site, and Beamed, the only player remaining, looking to clutch a 1v5, takes out Poison. Lays down some shots, takes out Forbid as well. Now a 1v3, a little bit more doable, but the bomb is down and only 33 seconds to work with. Slides the corner, takes out Decoy, now a 1v2. Takes out Vindicate, now a 1v1, calls in the UAV. Might want to reload, spots him right there, but Mason with the revolver is able to clutch up and avoid the 1v5 coming out of Beamed.
You may correct me here, just because we don't see enough pistol action for me to be sure on it, but 357?
358.
358 in this game, okay.
Yes.
Alrighty, so Mason coming through with a strong kill there. Beamed almost able to pull together a massive clutch for the team. What was that, 4 kills he put on the board that round?
Yeah, that was 4 kills. I really thought he was going to be able to clutch it, but just wasn't quite able to slide that corner in time. And Mason on point with the 358, which is an automatic 2-tap, sometimes a 1-tap if you're able to land the headshot. And that may have very well been what we saw right there, but it will be Fierce taking a couple kills off the start, now down to a 3-3. 2 players taken out for both teams, and Beamed once again sliding the corner, gets the assist. Picks up the sniper, actually, looking to get a pick right here, and Forbid going to be the only Violence player remaining. Beam slides the corner, gets the refrag, and he will get the defuse as he now has 8 kills on the board.
Yeah, that was good teamwork out of Beamed and Forsaken there. Forsaken did drop, but he was able to drop Forbid down into just a fraction of his health. Beamed able to slide the corner, as you mentioned, and find the find the kill there, able to find the defuse off the back of it. That is going to give Fierce a round back in the lead, as Violence were able to tie things up 2-2. Now 3-2 Fierce favor. So we're definitely going to have to check that out. We do have the spawn switching here. Obviously, Fierce now going to be on the offense instead of the defense, and a incredibly fast A side push here. Molly is going to come on in, but is not going to find the connection. And I do think this is a really smart play coming out of Fierce here, taking their odds, going into the short range matchup. Again, they lost their primary sniper. So, ooh, Mason.
The little hop-up snipe coming out of Mason right there that will give them the man advantage, but with only 20 seconds to work with, it's going to be a difficult task. We do have Beam taking out Poison on the corner. Mason misses the snipe, not able to take out Forsaken, who wins the gunfight, and it now is Forbid in a 1v3 with only 5 seconds to work with, and at this point probably just going to play for his KD. Does get the kill onto Forsaken, but that will be another round going the way of Fierce, who is now up 4-2 and 2 rounds away from closing out the 2-0 sweep.
And I absolutely would expect most of these upcoming rounds to be Fierce going A, especially with them having a 4-2 lead right now. Again, Raballo has been struggling with the sniper. We did see a couple opening picks from him, but 2 kills on the board, definitely not where you want to be for the sniper on Meltdown. I definitely wouldn't like to see them do what they just did and push B. Again, this is a map we talk about a lot, Bobby, as Forsaken picks up a kill and gets traded out. B favors the long range advantage. A is going to favor the more close range, so I would love to see them make those A side pushes. But Raballo coming through strong there for the team, finds a double kill. He's struggled all day, at least, or all match long to come online. He did have a good hardpoint performance, but we do have the bomb plant now, and it's a lonely Poison against 3 members of Fierce.
Yeah, and obviously the M4 is where Raballo's most comfortable, so more than likely, if I had to guess, we'll probably see a couple players swapping in and out. Poison's going to get taken out by Beamed, waiting in the corner right there to allow Fierce to now take the 5-2 lead. So despite the fact that we saw them pushing over the B site, able to close things out, Beamed, without a doubt, the MVP for this Fierce team today. Top fragger in the respawn and 12 kills in Search and Destroy as they're looking to close this one out. And we do see them now actually pushing mid, not something that we typically see a whole lot. It's actually going to be a pretty easy push for them. Will take some damage from the Molotov, but now able to push top side of that A site. A Molotov going out toward the stairs. Trades coming in for both teams as Raballo finally able to pick up that 3rd snipe of the day. It is Vindicate, however, taking out Beamed. And as I say it, Slothy gets the double trade. Decoy with the refrag. Now a 2v2.
Targets in sight.
Yeah, great position for Fierce to be in coming off of that hardpoint win. If they're able to close out even a single round in the next, we have 4 rounds ahead of us still at least, if we were to see Violence try to make a comeback. So a lot of potential for Fierce, especially as Raballo able to pick up another kill there with the sniper. He is able to find Mason rotating through mid. And now with the opportunity to potentially push out and get the plant. It does look like Forsaken playing things a little bit slow here. Maybe knows Decoy is up above him, but I would expect to see the rotation starting to come over. Does look like Decoy is moving over to A, and unfortunately for him, it does look like we have Forsaken and Raballo making the B side push. They're going to get the plant, and that is going to force Decoy to not only fight the 2v1, but 2v1 against the clock in match point. This is a rough spot for Decoy to be in. Ooh,
Yeah.
Forsaken might have missed him.
Yeah, Raballo, I think actually just spotted him right there, but wasn't able to land a shot. He's going to push back toward the generators right here. If he gets that molly down, that puts even more pressure on Decoy right there as it forces him over toward the sniper's nest. He's got to now wait for the Molotov to run out. And now Raballo with comms on his location is going to make it next to impossible for him to clutch it. The hit marker followed up by the kill shot out of Raballo, and it is Fierce taking the 2-0 win over Violence.
And Raballo struggled a long time for that game with the sniper. And again, with Sneaky being the shoes that you have to fill for being the sniper on the team, rough spot to be in, but he was able to come through clutch and clean up his act in the last couple of rounds. Obviously, it all started with that double kill. You know, as you mentioned, the M4 definitely his comfort zone. From there, we saw him go right back into the sniper, and I think he picked up. I think he picked up an additional 4 sniper kills, so good performance out of him there. Again, kind of a hindrance for Fierce to lose Sneaky, one of the best snipers in the league. But deemed a incredibly strong pickup for them. I mean, top fragging in hardpoint, coming through with 12 kills here in search and destroy. So phenomenal opening day performance coming out of him. And as well, Mason had some pretty crazy strategies that I definitely look forward to seeing coming through for him on Violence. And we will have to see how they're able to turn things around moving forward. But that's Fierce pulling together a 2-0 victory here, netting themselves again those additional 10 points, as well as costing Violence an additional 10 points.
And according to our admins, we do have Hammer's Arsenal getting the 2-0 win over Truly. So just to keep you guys updated on the scoring, we will take a look at that pretty soon. I will take room lead as we get ready to hop into Tribe versus Nova Academy. For those of you who don't know, this Nova Academy team is basically, I would say, pretty close, the closest that we've seen to an all-star team of Call of Duty Mobile. We've got a lot of really experienced, solid players in Vague, Swag, High, Wally. I believe they also picked up Zealous, who was consistently top frag for Fierce last season. So interested to see how this one is going to play out. The more experienced team in Tribe going against the younger, probably higher gun skill in, it's going to take me a while to get this name down, Nova Academy, just with multiple Nova teams in here trying to get it straight, but excited to watch this one. The first matchup we're going to have is Crash on Hardpoint, so hopefully we'll be able to get these guys loaded in soon, and we'll be able to hop into the action. Crash Hardpoint, wow.
Yeah, a heck of a map to start off, and then our map 2 will be Meltdown Search and Destroy again, so won't be going far for the Search and Destroy matchup. If we are able to make it to a game 3, we will have firing range on Domination for you. I know that is kind of a fan and a player favorite map, just kind of nostalgic ties. It's been in repeat titles, as it's been just such a fan favorite map across the generations. So a lot of familiarity for a lot of the players, as well as just an overall incredibly set up map. So I would love to see us get into a game 3, especially with the matchup here between these two teams. Again, Nova Imperium, very, very close to what would be like considered an all-star team. And Tribe, again, a really strong respawn-based team who have been struggling with their move over to phones, but, you know, maybe this is their season.
Yep. I believe I just saw a couple players leaving their game, so we should be able to get this Nova Academy team in. We do have Swag joining up right there, so hopefully pretty soon after we should have the rest of the team joining up, and we should be good to hop into the first game. We saw Swag obviously playing for Truly last season, just making some huge performances and plays in both the semifinals and also the actual finals of Mobile Mayhem Season 2. Obviously, with sniping, there is a little bit of an ebb and flow in the rhythm that you feel whenever it comes to sniping, and a lot of it is just a mental edge whenever you really do feel that you're going to hit those shots every time. So we'll see whether or not that ends up carrying over, especially since we haven't had a whole lot of a break in between the two seasons. With our last season ending just last week, definitely going to be interesting to see whether or not that momentum carries through for some of these former Truly players.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a fun one. Again, Tribe, a team that has struggled quite a bit, but a team that we have in the past seen be one of the stronger teams, specifically in Respawn. We did talk about it a little bit earlier, obviously, Bobby, where Tectonic is kind of going to be the anchor for this team in that of Tribe. If Tectonic is able to come through and have a strong day, the rest of the team may be able to reflect a little better around that. So definitely be keeping an eye out for him. Bolu and Nero also exceptionally strong players. Leon, a phenomenal player. Lil B, great player. Again, a lot of these players struggling really, really hard with the transition to phone, as they are obviously practicing for Call of Duty champs. So definitely going to have to keep an eye out for them moving forward. Obviously, we wish them their best, both in Mobile Mayhem, so that they can get the practice that they certainly need in going into champs. Definitely don't want to see them struggling there. But yeah, I mean, this should be a good trial of time for them to see if they've been able to take both the losses and experiences that they had last season and see if they've been able to mold forward some of the teamwork that we once upon a time seen out of them, as well as maybe bring some of the gun skill back to the table.
Yeah. Or Splinter, I don't know if you're in the call. If you want to send me a friend request, I can invite you, but Zim is not currently in the room right now, so I cannot send an invite. Regardless, hopefully we will have the rest of the team loading in. I don't know. So obviously Hax is no longer playing with Truly. I'm not sure if he's a part of this Nova roster. I'm looking at the league rosters real quick. Looking at Nova Imperium. Yeah, so Hax actually is a part of this Nova Imperium team. The full roster being High, Vague, Zealous, Wally, Swag, and Hax. So definitely a roster to be reckoned with Swag, or with Hax being the reigning MVP of Mobile Mayhem. We see him loaded in right here, and that is definitely a roster to be afraid of. So I'm interested to see what the team chemistry looks like for these guys, especially with a lot of these teams a lot of these players having played together in the past. Obviously, Tribe been together for the longest out of any of the teams, and has previously been known as one of the stronger respawn teams, but struggled since making the switch to phone. Definitely excited to see how this is going to play out as we get ready to hop in to Hardpoint Crash.
Yeah, should be a exciting opening game. Again, this is going to be kind of the trial here for Tribe. I mean, I know they really took a chunk of points lost for several DQs they had last season towards the end, just being able to field a roster. But even before that, I know we had a couple players that really struggled due to the storms that they had down in the southern states. So, you know, fortunately, everybody, at least as far as the players and families, as far as I know, everybody was able to make it out safe and seem to be making their way back into things. So hopefully we will have a bit better of a viewing coming out of Tribe this time around.
Yep. We are good to go for game number 1. We do have Nova pushing actually pretty strong over toward 3-story, which we also see coming out of Tribe. It is going to be a battle for the 3-story as both teams look to secure map control, and it's actually Nero who slides past the trip mine right there to get the double that will secure top control for them. Picks up the chopper as well, which is a gun you love to see. Sitting up top of that 3-story, going to be really easy to rain down on this Nova team, who's only got 1 kill right now. Tribe up 21-0 off the start. High, the only player able to pick up a kill so far, and it looks like, despite the transition to phone being a little bit of a struggle for Tribe, at least at first, the team chemistry continuing to build and the strategies definitely working out for them as they get a 27-point lead off the start.
And we do have Wally with the chopper out, which we have seen him in the past absolutely drop crazy numbers and drop crazy score streaks. So definitely be keeping an eye out on him as he lasers Leon across the map. And, you know, again, just goes to show how strong that gun is. It's fairly accurate even at long range. Fire rate is strong, and the bullet damage actually carries phenomenally well. So definitely be keeping an eye out for him as he does get gunned down by Bolu, making the slide in there, as well as Lil be able to find a kill for himself as well. And as you mentioned, Tribe with a incredibly strong start off here.
Yeah, and if I had to guess, probably not what most viewers in chat we're expecting to see, but a 43-point lead for Tribe off the start. Hacks yet to get a kill, Vague with only 1 on the board, and honestly not a massive kill disparity, but Tribe just making the right rotations, not playing overly aggressive, not challenging anything that they don't need to, and able to make the most out of these first couple rotations, which teams typically don't get a ton of points out of. Obviously, you tend to see a couple take points here and there, but to have a 63-point lead this early is definitely big for this Tribe team, who's looking to rebuild some of that lost confidence and just continuing to dominate as they look to rotate toward the next hard point as well. Leon taking shots, cross map onto High, wins that gunfight as well, and it looks like they might be able to get the break and take control of this next hard point too.
Yeah, and this is what we would love to see out of Tribe. I mean, again, they struggled all through last season, not only with the DQs, but even when they did field a full roster, they just struggled with a lot of their rotations. A lot of their gun skill really lacked, and that is not the Tribe that we've seen so far today. This is a phenomenal opening performance coming out of them. Lil B actually having a team at leading performance here right now with 8 kills on the board, and make it 9. Unfortunately for the side of Tribe, he is not a persistence user, at least at this point in time. So,
and right now, it kind of just seems like the communication is not there for Nova. There's been a number of opportunities where the hardpoint has just been left unoccupied when they had complete control of this deli side of the map. So we'll see whether or not that's something that's going to end up changing as they start to play more and more together. But Zealous gets a quick triple right there. That's going to be huge for Nova, as they are going to be looking to secure this next hard point. It is Little B picking up a few with an Annihilator of his own. Turns on to Wally right there. It is finally Vague able to clean up the kill, but despite the good map control, Fierce still looking pretty good. Gonna be tough to get the break right here, but if they can set up well for that next hard point, it's going to be huge for them, as that is one of the toughest hard points to break and could potentially put them up close to that 140-point marker heading into the final rotation.
Absolutely, as we have Vague actually in a crazy head glitch on top of the building there, able to pick up 1, unable to find that second kill. But we do have a little bit of a score comeback here on the side of, what is it, Nova Academy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Nova Academy. Again, kind of an all-star roster here. I mean, High, Hacks, Zealous, Wally, Vague, all really, really big names here in the COD mobile scene. As we do have the Purifier coming out from Nero there, which is one we definitely don't see very often.
Obviously, Tribe mainly just looking to maintain control of spawns right here. We do have Wally sliding the corner to get the frag onto Little B. And Nova looking pretty good right here. The Annihilator in the hands of Tectonic definitely very much needed, as it looked like we could potentially see a break coming out of Nova. And it seems like at this point, they're kind of just looking to reassemble and wait for Tribe to run out of their operators, as Tectonic picks up another one right there. Takes out Wally as well, and that's going to be big, but High pushes up. It looks like they may have a break right now. There's Tribe players all around, but he's the only person inside the hard point, and we do now have Nova ticking upward. Gets another kill onto Leon. One player inside the hard point, but Bolu cleans it up. That will allow Tribe to get the rest of that scrap time, and that's going to be huge for them, as that will put them around the 130-point mark heading into that potential final hard point.
Yeah, and again, this would be a big turnaround for Tribe. Again, we saw them struggle all through the last season. They're now within 20 points of a win here over Nova Academy, which, again, you know, we kind of considered to be basically an all-star team for Mobile Mayhem here. High having a big performance, Zealous and Hacks and Vague all doing exceptionally well. Wally actually struggling to come online here. As I say that, he is able to pick up a kill onto Nero and finds, wow, that one got yelling, but 7 kills on the board here for Wally, as we do have some points going on over to the side of Nova. However, Nova, they can't win off of this hard point, so big opportunities for Tribe.
And a couple big kills coming in. We do have Vague with the Annihilator, but he gets taken out by Leon. We do now have Little B throwing out the smoke to try to hold control right there, only able to get a few seconds. Leon continues to spray cross map with that chopper, which we've seen be dominant so far in Mobile Mayhem, and Once again, big plays coming out of them. They won't be able to win it on this hill either, but pretty good control of this side of the map. It's going to be a big fight trying to push over, but we can see Nova doesn't really have any type of map control. We've got a pretty good amount of Tribe players in the surrounding area of the hard point, and even though they don't have anybody on the point, we've got Tectonic with 800 HP on his Goliath marching in. That's going to be a big threat, but we do have High inside the hard point with a Goliath of his own. It's going to be a battle. It looks like Tectonic's going to win the gunfight. That's going to be huge for Tribe. They might, I think they got broken right there. Yeah, it is.
They did. This is rough.
Yeah, I don't know if Tribe's going to be able to muster the win right there. The score streak's coming in. The operator's coming out. Zealous has his Annihilator. He's going to be able to spawn trap Tribe right here unless they make a crazy play. Tectonic very nearly takes him out, but they're just not going to be able to get the break in time. They get the kill off the point. Only 1 second needed, and it is, I believe, Vague jumping down to get that last second on the hard point. But what a fight coming out of Tribe Gaming, as it is Nova Academy coming out on top in game 1.
Yeah, and that is super heartbreaking for Tribe. I mean, they were within 20 points of a win there. This is really the turnaround we would have liked to see them pull. I mean, I do have to give them credit where it deserves, right? I mean, this is a tough team to go up against in Nova Academy. So even though they lost, I mean, this is, again, more life out of Tribe than we've seen all through the last split. So still a lot to look forward for this team. It was a exciting first round. I mean, again, within 20 points, so big plays coming out of both of these teams. Moving into Search and Destroy on Meltdown, one of those big maps we talk a lot about for Search and Destroy, in that, again, B, if you are feeling comfortable in the range matchup, you could definitely make those offensive pushes to B and look for those long-range snipes that can be your opening picks. But A offers a lot of opportunity for a lot of submachine gun play as well as shotguns, so definitely excited to see if either of these teams are going to come through and make that kind of switch up. I absolutely, without question, would expect to see Nova Academy take the B path, specifically having High on the team. But there's an opportunity for Tribe to mix things up here.
Yep, for sure. Obviously, we are going to have Swag substituted in for this Nova roster, so one of the top snipers in all of the North American competitive scene. Definitely a really big pickup for this team and going to play a big role. Probably a little bit of a rivalry between him and Little B. Obviously, a little bit of the advantage going his way as Little B has made the switch over to phone, but I believe Little B was actually the only Tribe player going positive in that other match. So definitely big signs of life out of him, as he had been one of the players that had struggled the most with that switch over to phone. We'll see whether or not he's able to continue to carry that into his sniper gameplay as we get ready to hop into Meltdown, Search and Destroy.
I do think Lil B was able to put 20 kills on the board last game, so definitely a pretty good performance out of him. Again, Tribe still struggling a little bit, but definitely some big signs of life coming out of them, at least compared to last season. So hopefully this will be a constant for them. I would love to see them kind of return to that former Tribe they once were. I mean, again, once upon a time, we kind of revered Tribe as the best respawn team in the entire league. So definitely rough to see their last season performance, but coming through to this season, this is a great start for them. Bolu, I mean, again, Lil B the only one that went positive. It was, I think, only by one. I want to say he was 20 and 19. Bolu was able to come through 12 and 12, but you know, as you mentioned, Tectonic definitely struggling a little bit, and he's the player we really need to see come through for that team. And this is a new opportunity for them moving into Search and Destroy. They have an opportunity to push us to Game 3, and firing range would be a phenomenal map 3 to see between these two teams.
And we see Little B with the new legendary Kilo skin out there with the iron sight on it. If I had to guess, we're probably going to see a weapon change. No, we don't. All right, so he's going to be rocking an iron sight Kilo right here. Interested to see how this is going to play out. Obviously, the Kilo, the most recent addition in regards to snipers, and
Yikes.
If I had to guess, probably after that, we're going to see a switch to a different weapon selection as Swag ends up winning that gunfight. We do have 2 players remaining for Tribe. Tectonic with 5 HP, not quite able to escape as High is able to chase him down. And now Leon in the 1v3 is going to need to pick up the bomb over at the B site as well to be able to close this one out. He's able to pick up an ASM-10, which will give him some more versatility alongside that shotgun, but not able to hit the cross map shots. And now in a tough spot, hit marker Swag right there, but not able to land the kill shot. And we do have Nova Academy going up to the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, strong round coming out of Nova there. I do want to make note that both High and Leon are using shotguns, so definitely going to have to keep an eye out for that as far as what side rotations we have coming through here. Obviously, Nero having the bomb here for Tribe. They are opting for the B side push again, which, again, for this matchup, I do not think favors them. Having Swag on the other team as well as High pulling out the shotgun. I mean, that does make things struggle a little bit here for the side of Tribe one way or another. They do find first blood. They actually find a second kill as well. So this is a big open here for the side of Tribe. As I say that, we do have Swag picking up a kill onto Tectonic there.
And Little B picks up another snipe with the Iron Sight Kilo. Like I said, not really what I expected to see out of him, but he's making it work right now. But the Colette coming out of Swag, that's going to be huge. Fortunately enough for Tribe, Leon is right there behind him, able to pick up the refrag and tie things up at 1-1. But well, still a little bit of a risky move for Tribe, but Little B making it work right now. And we'll see whether or not that's something that he does end up sticking with, as he did get 2 kills with it in that round. Probably lacking a little bit of precision. I would say that's the main downside of using that Kilo with the Iron Sight. Typically with the sniper, you want to have the advantage of the long-range gunfight, and it's just tough to be precise using an Iron Sight on that weapon. Really does make it more similar to a shotgun than anything else, but he's
like
able to get the
shotgun
shot onto High as well, and just like that, 3 kills on the board for him. Up a player as Vague is able to get the refrag onto Leon, hits another one onto Swag. I believe he's actually winning the sniper gunfight. Swag does have 5 kills, but I believe that is 2-1 in favor of Little B against Swag with the Kilo. And now Vague all by himself. He is able to pick up the frag onto Tectonic, but not a ton of time to work with. Not able to get the kill, and it is Bolu closing that one out to give Tribe the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, spicy round for Tribe there. As you mentioned, Little B, strong performance with the Iron Sights here. We'll have to see if this is, going to be something he consistently uses. Again, I would think that with this setup, Tribe would struggle on the B side rotation, but we haven't seen Swag make the sniper nest kind of push yet. Again, he's finding the kills, but really not getting the range advantage we would like to see. We've seen a lot of rotations through mid from him, looking for those long range pushes, but it is going to be a quick plant coming out of the side of Tribe here as they look to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, pretty solid push for them. Little B taking shots, but will be able to push back toward the A site. Not gonna get killed quite yet, and it is Tectonic and Nero getting first blood. Nero actually ends up getting a double, and now Swag all by himself, looking like it might be a quick 5-0 round for Tribe, and it is. Tribe returning to the search and destroy dominance that we had seen from them previously, looking really good right here against a Nova team with a lot of talent, but just has not been able to get into the rhythm. Obviously, they had a similarly slow start in our last game and were able to turn things around later on, so we'll see if they're able to do so. But we do have Tribe pushing over toward the B site. Smoke's going out. Swag overlooking the site, and Nero in a little bit of a sticky situation, but Little B takes out Swag again. 5 kills on the board. Bolu gets the double.
Bolu.
Only 1 player remains, and Little B hits another one onto Wally, and it's now a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, great performance coming out of Tribe here. Again, we have not seen Tribe play this well for quite a while. So definitely excited to see them, again, coming through strong. Lil B, he found what, like 2? I don't think they were technically considered wall bangs because the way the edge works there, but very limited sight, able to pick up the 2 kills earlier. And coming through the strong performance right now, 6 kills on the board. Bolu coming through not far behind with 5. It is a quick A-side plant here on the side of Nova Academy as they look to take some of this momentum away from Tribe, who are one round away from match point.
Oh, and the sniper shot at a Little B again. Wally is able to get the double with the RPG, and it will be Nova coming out on top right there as they seem to have a little bit better idea of what type of approach they want to have on the offensive side now. Obviously, a must-win round for them as a 5-1 lead would have made it really, really difficult for them to come back. And Hex still struggling. 0 kills on the board for him. Fortunately for Nova, he is the bomb carrier, so a little bit of responsibility taken off, but Little B gets another shot with the Iron Sight Kilo to put him up at 8 kills to lead all players. Gets the nade onto Vague as well. He is in the zone right now, and now only 2 players remain right here. Make it 1 as Wally's by himself, does get the frag, but players all around, and Bolu cleans that up to give Tribe the 5-2 lead.
And again, Tribe coming through strong here. If they're able to close things out, they could push us to our first game 3 of the opening day of Mobile Mayhem, which would be phenomenal to see. Obviously, it would be domination on firing range. We've talked about it a couple times already for the matchup between these 2 teams. And that would be great. I mean, again, we would love to see more out of Tribe and you know, see, hey, this isn't a fluke. This is Tribe actually have got their stuff together. They're getting comfortable on the phones. They're going to bring their A game and be a strong and top tier team once again, as Leon and Paul who find a double opening there, and Little B finds the 3rd.
Yeah, Little B now up to 10 kills, gets a frag himself. Only 1 player remaining in Vague to try to clutch it out right here, but in 4 Tribe players that are absolutely, their confidence is just higher than it's been in a long time. It's going to be really tough for him to do, giving away his location with the HG40 shots right there. Gets the double onto Leon and Tectonic. This could actually be manageable, but Bolu slides the corner, gets the frag, and Tribe Gaming gets their first win of Mobile Mayhem Season 3 against a team that I think most people were probably expecting was going to be next to impossible to beat. Little B, 2 games in a row, MVP for his team, not able to get the win in hardpoint, but they do come away with it right there as the Kilo Iron Sight coming in handy, going 10-6.
Yeah, and again, I'm super excited, Bobby, to see Tribe coming through with a strong performance here. It's been so long since we've seen them come through with strong games the way we've seen. I mean, even in the game that they lost, I mean, again, it was a sub 20-point loss on Hardpoint Crash up against a team that is stacked to the gills. And this is going to be an exciting game 3 and a big one to decide how the rest of the season is going to go. Unfortunately for both of these teams, whichever team does pull off the win, they weren't able to pull out the 2-0 victory, which we saw across the board for the rest of the games today. Even the off-stream game that happened was a 2-0. So 20 points as well as negative 20 points for the winners and losers respectively of those matchups. So the winner of this game won't be in a tied for first place. But at the same time, the losers won't be tied for last place. So
yeah,
interesting the way the point spread works out here for day 1. Obviously, that can have a big impact going into the final day. As I mean, again, last season we saw ties in both the A side division as well as B. So every one of these points matters moving forward, Bobby.
Yep, for sure. And definitely going to see persistence as a big factor in this game. Obviously, the fragging power is what you're going to tend to be looking at when it comes to the power of persistence. And I do feel like Nova has the advantage on that side. It does look like we're going to have a substitution as we do have Zealous loaded into the room. So waiting to see who's going to be subbed out right here. We did see Hags Hex struggling. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Hex struggling a little bit in both games. So could potentially see a swap for Zealous, as obviously he's been one of the more consistent respawn players in all of Mobile Mayhem. Waiting to see what the move is right here. And we actually see Swag unreadying. He could potentially be the one that ends up getting subbed out. But waiting for our players to ready up, get their score streaks right. Obviously, lots of changes more than likely going to be made for domination, is the score streaks that you'll typically use will usually be kick hacks. Okay. All right. And yeah, we will have Hex subbed out, Zealous subbed in. And just once our players get readied up, we should be good to go for our final game of the night.
And again, gonna be an exciting one ahead of us, Bobby. This is our first match 3 on day 1. So, you know, it's already exciting enough there. Plus, again, Tribe coming through with some energy that we haven't seen out of them in, honestly, at this point, over a month. I mean, if I'm just going to be honest again, I don't want to rag on the guys, but the numbers stand for themselves. Tribe did not have a good season all through the last split. And this is a big turnaround for them. I mean, this is a good way to put their name back into kind of the fear of their enemies, right? I mean, I feel like a lot of the teams going up against Tribe last season would have been like, hey, you know, Tribe, they're struggling. This is going to be a easy win for us. That doesn't look to be the case for Tribe this season, and again, I'm super happy to see them bringing their A game to the table.
Yep, for sure. We do have Swag, respawn sniping, not too surprising to see right there. Not quite able to land the shot over onto Little B on the backside of Trailer, but he is able to take out Leon, and actually Little B using the HG40 right now. It is Swag able to take him out. 2 kills on the board, but pretty solid map control. We actually get the double. I didn't even realize, but Tribe was able to go ahead and flip very early. Obviously, we'll have an attempted retake on the C flag, but they're not able to get it. Now, Tribe holding the double right here, looking really, really good. Little B getting the kill inside of American, trying to protect this B flag, gets the shots onto Zealous as well. Vague finally able to get the refrag and clean that one up as they are able to close out that C flag cap. But a little bit of B progress coming out of Tribe as well, who's looking very good off the start.
Yeah, Tribe in a great spot here. Even if C flipped back, this is normally at this point a even game right around the 12, 13 point mark. But Tribe, thanks to being able to hold that double cap on A and C for so long, they've developed themselves about a 15-point lead, as well as we're about halfway into capping B, but that has quickly turned around as we do have it kind of neutralized back out here, as Nova obviously not ready to put themselves in that position. But Swag, Zealous, both finding a kill. Swag actually finding another kill there. Wally, once again, kind of struggling a little bit in the gunfights, but has 4 kills on the board here. Make it 5 as he gets a good spawn there right behind Bolu.
And we do have Nova actually working on the triple cap right now. They were the first team to be able to secure that B flag. They got a pretty good amount of progress on A, but we do have Tribe able to take it back down and maintain control, at least for right now. Leon looking to hold down this wood building. We've seen the chopper, especially in Garena Champs, be so dominant in firing range just because there are so many buildings that you can easily wallbang. Having an LMG like that with decent mobility is just such a big advantage, and obviously Nova slowly climbing their way. Yeah, climbing their way back into this one. Vague had a little bit of a slow start, but obviously with control of this tower area, just such a power position as he picks up the frag onto Bolu as well. In a few more seconds, we will likely see Nova taking the lead for the first time in this matchup. Vague slides the corner to take out Little B right there in the top of wood, and we will have Nova taking the lead and potentially taking the A flag as well as Vague slides over, but the RPG in from Leon will end that push quickly.
And just to make note here, since obviously we've seen some massive meta shift over into persistence, everybody on the side of Nova is using persistence except for Wally, and they're all using VTOLs, but no SAM turrets on the board. Meanwhile, looking over at the side of Tribe, very similar situation. Everybody running persistence over here. A lot of VTOLs on the board, but we also have 2 SAM turrets on the side of Tribe in both Nero and as well Leon. So definitely going to be looking for some of that airspace clearing potential coming out of those SAMs. Because again, one of the things that we talk a lot about in these respawn modes where a lot of players run persistence is that airspace lockout. you have the ability to call out to your team when your VTOL is leaving, and getting back-to-back VTOLs is going to be detrimental one way or another. Even if the first one gets shot down quickly by a SAM, just being able to lock your opponents out of that airspace is an incredibly strong tactic. We do have B obviously flipping back over to Tribe at this point, which is going to leave us with a very, very close half-point switch. As I mean, we'll have like I think a 1-point lead. It should be like 74-75. So.
Honestly, this feels like the longest half of Call of Duty Mobile that I've ever watched, because that B flag went uncapped for so long, and then it ended at 73-75. That half felt like it took a solid hour and a half, but it at the end of it, Tribe only up by 2 points.
I can't think of a better way to close out the night.
Yeah,
this
is
our last game. Tribe coming through strong.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta love it.
A great matchup to watch. We do have Leon inside of wood, trying to hold it down with the LK right there. Lays down shots onto Zealous. A beautiful play coming out of him that'll allow him to continue to hold this positioning. He does have a Goliath,
Will be with the Goliath.
We'll potentially see coming in pretty soon right here. Swag gets a little bit of time over on the B flag. And obviously, like you said, Little B inside the Goliath, and now looking to hold down this wood area. I would say, without a doubt, the right approach for him. You don't want to play too aggressive. Obviously, you would like to do your best to avoid any operators, to avoid any pred missiles, but losing some HP, I think he decided the right move was to make the aggressive push, see if they can get the B cap right here. Now down to 200 HP, he is going to get taken out by the pred missile from Vague, but honestly, that was best case scenario for him, forcing him to use the pred missile when he had already lost the majority of his HP.
Yeah, and you know, you definitely got to focus B on this map, especially in the second half. There's going to be a lot of dominance on getting trophy systems down, so definitely be looking out. Then High finds a triple kill. Big play for Nova there.
Yeah.
And they hold. They need to turn things around here, as so far Tribe have been able to hold a double cap on A and C once again, and have developed themselves quite a bit of a point gap, at least for how early in the round this is, and still holding off C at this point.
Yeah, and we get simultaneous cluster strikes out of Tribe as they're looking to maintain the double cap and potentially get the triple right here. We see Leon marching that way, but as it happens, we do have
Volley on C as well.
I believe another cluster strike coming in. It is a C cap right here for Nova, but now down 20 points. It's going to be a difficult comeback for them, as we've just got Goliath after Goliath. Tectonic content to stay in bottom wood, definitely the right move for them. All he's really got to do is protect that B flag for a little bit longer, and assuming they don't get triple cap, they should be good to go, especially with that trophy system down. Vague, very low on HP. Tectonic gets the kill onto High. A cluster strike coming in for Nova, but not getting a whole lot of value out of it, as Tectonic is safe inside bottom wood.
Close. Yeah, Nero 50 points away from a VTOL. Lil B just 300 points away. Bolu just 200 points away. This is starting to look like this could potentially be a Tribe win. Again, we have no SAM turrets on the side of Nova.
It's about to be a triple cap.
It's
a triple cap. All right, we do see Tribe taking progress on C. That was actually really big for them.
Out.
Oh, Zealous gets the first VTOL. We'll see if the SAM turrets come in time for Tribe. They're going to need to get a double cap to close this one out. And it's Nova on the C flag. It's a triple. No! They saved the triple! They barely saved the triple right there. Nero's marching over towards C. They're not going to be able to get the triple right here, but keep in mind, we do have Tribe in need of a double cap, and it looks like actually a wasted cluster strike right there, as multiple people for Tribe marching toward B, a little bit of progress on A as well. Nero just tanking all of this, and the, oh my gosh, Swag gets his VTOL in.
That's rough for Tribe, as we do have 2 VTOLs ready to go for Tribe. And again, they've been unable to. Nova are getting the VTOLs called in. I do believe Swag is shot down at this point, but with the triple cap now, this could be Nova turning things around.
They gets his VTOL in. They keep blocking him out.
And this is exactly what we have talked about with locking out the airspace, being able to stack those VTOLs instead of just calling them in as you get them. And this is a massive turnaround for Nova. Once again, in the respawn, pulling together a sub 20 point win here over Tribe, and just absolutely phenomenally executed by Nova. I believe Tribe had VTOLs online for almost 2 minutes there. And just were unable to get them called in. I mean, they took down the first VTOL out of Nova pretty quick, but I do believe we burned both SAM turrets on the first VTOL. They then got destroyed as the second VTOL was called in, and just a rough game for Tribe there. Nova Academy, again, gonna be one of, at least in my opinion, the more difficult teams to topple over, as again, kind of an all-star stacked team, but Tribe, I think even with the loss here, I think they came through with a strong performance that they absolutely needed coming off of such a, I mean, let's face it, such a horrible season that they had last time around. So I'm definitely excited to see them maybe pulling together some stronger games this season.
And honestly, looking at the kill disparity, it's actually kind of shocking that that game was as close as it was. If it hadn't been for the constant VTOL spam out of Nova right there, Tribe probably would have won, but I think just a different approach right there that we saw out of Nova, depending less on map control and really just playing for frags to try to be able to get those VTOLs up as quickly as possible, definitely ended up paying off for them and allowed them to clutch up the win. But definitely phenomenal performances out of both teams and really all three matches, and that's the first time that we've seen that tonight, as most of the matches have been relatively a blowout. But that is going to be it for our first night of Mobile Mayhem. I hope you guys did enjoy. Keep in mind, we are going to be streaming these live on both YouTube and Trovo from now on. So basically for the entire rest of Mobile Mayhem, we'll be live on both platforms. Make sure to follow and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Once again, big shout out to Day for helping me cast as always. A blast to cast with you, but that's going to be it for the night. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to drop a follow, like, subscribe, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I will catch you guys next time. Oh, and make sure to raid whoever I said raid. And yeah.